Hi, I'm Kevin from Hutson Engineering Services, and welcome back to this is episode 3 of our AMV8 540 videos. Just looking at the cylinder heads today and the valve guides. So the cylinder heads have been completely dismantled and cleaned. On the outside, all the surfaces have been cleaned up nicely. The next stage for these cylinder heads is the fitting of the valve guides. Now, for those of you that have never stripped and worked on an Aston Martin V8 cylinder head, the valve guides on the inlet and exhaust differ. The guide on the inlet is a straightforward guide that fits into the bore. The guide on the exhaust side is what's called a water-cooled guide. So when the guide's inserted, the top part of the guide's in the cylinder head, the bottom part of the valve guide is in the casting in a bore with an interference fit. Now in between that, the coolant passes through, and as the coolant passes through, it cools the guide, cools the valve. So the next step will be fitting the guides. We then pressure test the cylinder heads. We pressure test by sealing up all the waterways, and we put compressed air in, and then we check for any leaks that way. One of the other things that we do, and this is a standard procedure at Hutson Engineering for the V8 heads. Now, they can suffer from porosity quite bad. We see many cylinder heads over the years that fail in the exhaust ports, and sometimes they crack through the exhaust ports into the inlet tract as well. But more often than not, these are porosity issues around the valve guide bore bosses. So these look in really good condition. We don't need to put oversized valve guides in or anything like that. The bores are good. But what we do as a matter of course is when we fitted the valve guides and we pressure test the head, make sure the castings are sound, we take them to a specialist, and they carry out a certain type of procedure where the cylinder heads are actually they're cleaned extensively inside. Then what happens is they go into a vacuum chamber, and in that vacuum chamber they are subject to a ceramic seal, and that ceramic seal held in the vacuum is drawn into all the porous parts of the casting internally. You can't see it, it's completely invisible. But we do what's called a double impreg seal, so we have them done twice, just for a belt and braces approach. Now, when the cylinder heads come back from this procedure, they look no different. You cannot tell at all that anything's happened, anything's been carried out. There's no change in the colour, but any holes or any porosity that is at the surface, whether that be on the external or the inside of the cylinder head, has this sealer drawn into them, and it provides great future protection for the cylinder head against porosity and possible failure. Not guaranteed, but it's a really stringent belt and braces approach, and as I say, it's a matter of it is literally a procedure that we do now as a matter of course as we are overhauling the cylinder heads. As we go through and we start cutting the valve seats, and we're going to be using the larger valves in here as well, the Vantage valves, we'll come back and we'll do another video on that, and I do hope that you can join us.